This season was, if I could describe it, it was actually a tale of two seasons. Um, Overall, the group that I have this year has been wonderful. A lot of young talent in terms of age as well as experience. And as you know, being a former track guy yourself, a year can make a world of difference. You know, just in learning what it is you're trying to do, how to do it, testing yourself against other competitors and other athletes. Um, and when I say a tale of two seasons, our indoor season exceeded my expectations tremendously. We actually got two national championships this year indoor. And before that, I'd only had one ever. We finished two national championships at AAU Indoor Nationals. We took two second place finishes, four third place finishes, and in terms of top eight, we won the podium 13 times with seven athletes. It depends on your group. It depends on what you have. And what I mean is this. Outdoor, you tend to have more events. So there's more opportunity to score overall. But I guess the right way to say this is the talent is sort of spread thin. But when you've got a smaller number of events, for example, your jumps. Indoor, you have long jump, triple jump, high jump. Outdoor, you add pole. And so when you've got a group, a small group with a small number of events, but you've got kids that are proficient in those events, your chances of making the podium are much better. Making the podium 13 times, indoor, outdoor, for any team is no small thing. And then for a team such as ours that's really been in existence 3 years now, it's no small thing. No small thing. Our mission statement is that we help our young people achieve what they want to in terms of college goals and objectives through athletic performance, primarily track and field. I do have other athletes, but the vast majority of what we do is track and field. And a lot of people don't know this, but Maryland is the 19th largest state in the country. They know that part. But being the 19th largest state in the country, with the exception of Texas, California, Georgia, and then maybe one more state, and I think it might be Virginia. The athletes from Maryland, in terms of your Junior Olympic Nationals, AAU and USATF, we collect, as a state, the fifth largest total in terms of medals. What that says to me, when you take a state that's sort of middle of the road in size, and you collect the lion's share of medals at an athletic event, what it says is that you've got a lot of talented athletes. Now, having said that, for particularly a young man, there are only 6 or 7 schools in the state of Maryland that offer athletic scholarship in track and field. So what you have to do is when you take those two dynamics and you put them together, what you've got is a situation where you've got more talent than you've got schools to send them to within the state. So what we try to do with AFU is we try to position those kids so that a school even outside of the state of Maryland would want them. Now, along with that, we take the entire experience. You got to get that SAT. You got to have grades to go to college, period. And so we take and we try to use track as a tool, if you will. But by no means is it the only way that a person would get this. In fact, if you're just looking at track, you can't get to school at all. So we take track and use it as bait. And we say, all right, we can get you faster, stronger, this and that, which puts you in a better opportunity to achieve what you want, which is financial assistance to go to school through your athletic talent. But also you've got to get your SATs, your ACTs, whatever college prep courses you need. We help them in terms of guidance and mentoring during the school year itself. How are you doing? We talk to them. We sit down with the parents and we talk about, ninth grade is the year where everything starts to count. You got to get your grades right. You got to make sure that you're doing other things. And so we try to take that whole experience and create for that young person the opportunity or the best opportunity to put them in a position or situation and match them with the best college possible so that that merger can be successful. Well, in a nutshell, balance. I mean, our logo is the Da Vinci Man, which represents symmetry. And by symmetry, what I mean is we coach the art and the science. Some people are very good technical coaches. I can teach you how to triple jump, and that's it. And then you have some the artistic side is, can I reach you, the individual, in whatever it is that you want to do, and try to pursue your goals and your dreams that way. Track and field has a science to it. Physics laws rule and regulate the sport in a tremendous way. It's an objective sport. It's a time sport. So your measurement, you can measure yourself against anybody else in the country. Football, basketball, those sports aren't quite like that. And so the benefit to being with us is we nurture it all. We nurture the entire spectrum. Where there's a technical event, we can teach you that. But when it comes to just the art, how to position yourself mentally, there's an art to getting ready to run a race. Train you in such a way where during your early season, for example, we're working on specific skills maybe. We're working on just your general overall fitness versus when it's championship season, it's time to perform. And so you have to be able to successfully transfer between one area or one part of your season and the other part of your season. And I think we do that as well, if not better than a lot of our competitors. Last season was a blessing for us. It was, for me personally, in a lot of ways. What I learned from this group, or as you asked, what golden nugget could I give back? They were more like a family than any other group that I've ever had. I mean, these guys supported one another. I didn't even know, but they set up a dynamic where through social media they kept up with one another. If one was hurt, they would all come, hey, how you doing? Are you okay? If somebody missed a meet, for example, we're just checking on you to see what was going on. And it allowed me to put them in positions where I could bring them along at their own pace. Everybody's different, and you have the same workouts that you do for different reasons sometimes, and sometimes you have different workouts that you do to achieve the same reason. Personally, I also had the opportunity to put my hands back into the professional realm. I had a young man that I worked with for a little, I shouldn't say a month because we were off and on. I'd help him out, give him tidbits and stuff. And then we really put some real work in about a month before the Olympic trials. And he actually went from 10.39 in the 100 to 10.08. And that made me feel good because it sort of said, hey, Vaughn, you still have the touch. He actually brought me back the jersey that you see right over here. I guess, well, as a token of appreciation, I shouldn't say I guess because it was really nice and certainly was unexpected. And so the way that I take that and parlay it to my current athletes is if you continue to do what you're supposed to do, because the key in this sport is consistency over time. And if you can consistently put your work in diligently, and just do what you're supposed to do every day, you may not all have the talent level to make it to the Olympic trials, but you will improve. And that improvement can serve you in all aspects, in all areas of your life. Through your college studies, if you've got a job, just track is the closest sport that relates to life that I can think of. Because once that gun goes off, you don't get to call timeout. You have to course correct on the fly. And what you get out of that race is going to be directly correlated with what you put in your practice time.